Let me ask you a question. If slavery was truly just about labor, then why were Black women forced to nurse, raise, and nurture white babies, while their own children were sold away? Why were Black mothers expected to pour love into the children of their enslavers, while being denied the right to protect, feed, or even keep their own children? That's not labor. That's psychological warfare. That's reproductive exploitation. That's the theft of motherhood itself. And it reveals something most history books refuse to say out loud. Slavery wasn't just about building wealth. It was about destroying Black family structure at the root. Many people think of slavery as cotton fields and plantation labor, but slavery also had another side, one that was just as brutal. Domestic slavery. Black women were used inside the enslaver's home as maids, cooks, caretakers, and wet nurses. They weren't just cleaning floors, they were forced to raise the children of white families. White society did not want to acknowledge Black humanity, but they were fully comfortable exploiting Black womanhood. Because in slavery, the Black woman's body wasn't viewed as sacred. It was viewed as a tool, a resource, a machine. Let's talk about wet nursing. A wet nurse is a woman forced or hired to breastfeed another person's baby. During American slavery, enslaved Black women were often forced to breastfeed white infants. And here's what makes this even darker. If a Black mother was producing milk, that meant she recently gave birth. So if she was nursing a white baby, then the question becomes, where was her baby? Sometimes her baby was starving, sometimes her baby was neglected, sometimes her baby was dead, sometimes her baby was sold. And yes, this is documented. Slave owners forced Black mothers to prioritize the enslaver's child over their own because white children were viewed as valuable human beings, while Black children were viewed as inventory. Let that sink in. Black women were forced to give their breast milk, the most intimate symbol of motherhood, to the children of the very people destroying their family. That is not accidental. That was a deliberate system of control. Now here's the part that many people don't want to talk about. After the transatlantic slave trade was restricted, the slave economy shifted, and enslavers began relying heavily on reproduction, meaning Black women were forced to reproduce, and Black children became currency. In many slave states, the law followed the principle, the child follows the status of the mother. So if the mother was enslaved, the child was automatically enslaved, even if the father was white, which means rape became profitable, pregnancy became profitable, and motherhood became a business transaction. This is why enslavers wanted Black women to remain strong, productive, and useful. They didn't care about her dignity. They cared about her output. They cared about her womb. They cared about her ability to produce future property. And once you understand that, you realize slavery wasn't just theft of labor, it was theft of bloodline. Now, let's talk about why Black families were torn apart so often. Some people say it was just business. No, it was terrorism. Because when you destroy a family, you destroy identity. When you destroy a mother-child bond, you destroy emotional stability. When you sell a child away from their mother, you create generational trauma, and slave owners knew exactly what they were doing. They used separation as punishment. They used it to break resistance. They used it to send a message. You do not own your children. We do. That is one of the most evil parts of slavery, because even animals defend their offspring. But Black mothers were punished for doing what every mother on earth was created to do: protect her child. So when you see enslaved Black women forced to nurture white children while watching their own children ripped away, you're witnessing the destruction of Black motherhood as a strategy. And here's another truth. Many white children were raised by Black women. They were fed by Black women. They were soothed by Black women. They were comforted by Black women. Yet when those children grew up, they entered a society that still denied Black people rights, humanity, and freedom. That means the system didn't just steal Black labor, it stole Black love and used it to stabilize white households, while Black households were intentionally destabilized. That is why the phrase, built on the backs of Black women, is not a metaphor, it is historical reality. So when you ask, why were Black women forced to nurture white families while losing their own? The answer is simple, because slavery wasn't only about work, it was about domination. It was about breeding labor. It was about controlling women. It was about destroying Black legacy. And that is why the trauma is still alive today, because the system didn't stop, it just changed uniforms. Thank you for tuning in, my beloved brothers and sisters. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Xposure, the People's News YouTube channel. And comment below, let me know how this history sits with you.